Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to lead you through chair yoga. We will practice together for 30 minutes today. So just a reminder to listen to your body through the practice. Not every stretch works for every person. So if a particular stretch doesn't work for you, please skip it, come on out and modify. Things that you'll need for class today is a chair at your desk will be perfect. So any chair will work. If your chair has wheels, you may want to put them in the lock position just so you're not rolling around too much. And today, as we go through our class, we will focus on common areas of complaint throughout the workday. So we can focus a bit on the hands and the wrists, the shoulders, the neck, get down into our backs and down to the legs. And the most wonderful thing about this practice is all of the stretches that we will work with today, you can easily incorporate into your workday at your desk. So if you know that your neck gets pretty cranky and tired and fatigued, maybe try to bookmark these stretches in your mind and come back to them throughout the workday. So as we get started, we'll just take a moment or two to relax. We call this a centering. It's an opportunity to release the day so far, to give yourself an opportunity to drop into your body and your breath. So to come into centering, you're going to scoot to the edge of your seat, and that will help you to elongate the spine and also engage the core. Sometimes when we're sitting back into the seat of the chair, we slouch a little bit. So this will just help us with our posture. And take an opportunity to close the eyes for a moment. And then just give yourself an opportunity to take a few deep full breaths in and out. With each exhale, try to melt tension from your mind, melt tension from your body. And then maybe do a little scan of your body. Observe in this moment where you're holding on to tension. You may feel that the eyebrows are tense or the jaw is tense. Maybe holding tension in the shoulders, maybe somewhere else. So as you exhale, just try to let that tension melt away. And then as we go through class today, try to focus on breathing in and out through the nose. So we want to avoid breathing through the mouth. Breathing through the mouth can activate the fight or flight response. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose keeps the mind, body calm and relaxed and at ease. Let's take a deep full breath in here. We'll sweep our hands right on up to the sky. Draw your hands together in prayer and take the hands to the heart on the exhale. Full breath in, let's reach up, stretch up, and release. And let's go 3 more times here with the breath. As the hands move to the heart, circle in the other direction. So we'll draw our fingertips up, release the arms out and around. And then releasing those hands, let's take the hands behind and we'll just grab onto the seat of the chair. We're going to encourage a little bit of a back bend here. So as you grab onto the chair, try to press your heart forward, chest forward. Either gaze down the front body or relax your head back. And see if you can try to open up the shoulders a little bit more here. This is a nice heart opener, good for those shoulders. Excellent stretch. If you find through the day that you round a little bit, maybe at the computer, looking down at the phone, maybe a little bit rounded in the collarbone area. So just try to feel this opening, lengthen the muscles. And reset. We'll bring our hands right on up to the sky, hands in line with the shoulders this time. Take your right hand, reach and stretch up, and try to create a little bit of a slack on the left side. Left hand rises, right hand slacks and relaxes a bit. And let's go side to side here. Moving back to a neutral spine, hands relax down alongside the body. We're going to try some shoulder shrugs, shoulders to the ears, create a bit of tension here, and then try to relax your shoulders down. Shoulders up, creating that tension, and releasing. And let's take an opportunity just to flow with the breath here. Shoulders up, tense, 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 and release. Gently relaxing your shoulders down. Nice deep shoulder circle. Take the shoulders up to the ears. Nice big circle back and relax your shoulders down. Let's take some time to work with our wrists. We'll take our hands up to the sky and then we'll begin to circle out through the wrists. So as you circle, gently float your hands down. Just find maybe large circles here, maybe find smaller circles here. And reverse. And then let's flow up. We're just gonna move those hands right and up to the sky. And let's go down. And let's take it up. Good. Now let's draw our hands in line with our shoulders and we'll begin to circle. And as you circle, let's take out those hands out in front. Hands come together, reverse, we'll circle out in the other direction. And let's close it up again. And we'll open. Great. Let's take our right hand down, a little bit of an angle. Take our left arm up, little angle, and then circle those wrists. We're going to have them meet in the middle. Go back on out. And we'll bring it in. And take it out. So it's always really good to spend a little time on the wrists. Our hands do so much. We're always on the phone and texting. We're going to take opposite direction this time at the computer, always typing and things like that. So it's always good to give the wrist a little TLC, give the hands a little TLC. And just simply circling the wrist can be so beneficial. Many times if I'm at the computer working so hard and typing so much, I'll really notice that my wrists just feel very locked up and I'll feel just kind of pain, fatigue, and just a little bit of a circling can just give a nice opportunity to reset. Let's give those wrists a little shake on out. That one's also nice because you can build a little bit of shoulder strength, right? Looks so easy, but I know that I was feeling a little fatigued at the end. Let's take our right hand out. Fingertips are going to point up. Left hand will come in and then gently draw your fingertips back. Feel that right arm really active. Press out through your elbow crease and the palm of the hand. Left hand, fingertips point up. Right hand comes in, draw the fingertips back. And release. Right hand relaxes, left hand comes in, pressing that hand in. See if you can relax your shoulders from the ears. Maybe the shoulders are coming up to the ears a bit. Left hand relaxes, right hand comes in. And release. Let's give it a shake on out. Hands will come up in line with your shoulders. Fingertips reaching, stretching up. Right hand relaxes down your back body. Left hand draws you into a shoulder stretch. Now maybe scanning the body once again. Notice where you're holding onto tension. And then try to let that tension go with the exhale. Hands sweep up, breathe here. Left hand down, right hand draws you into that stretch. See if you can relax your shoulders away from the ears. And release. Let's take our hands to frame the ears this time. So we'll reach for opposite elbows. And gentle shift to the right and the left on this one. So do a little wiggle here in the waist side to the right. Releasing off to the right. Maybe pause here for a moment. Try to press in through that left sitting bone, get nice and grounded. We'll bring ourselves back to center, realign, releasing to the left. Rolling your left shoulder under, right shoulder open a little bit. And then we'll come back to center. Now notice which hand is on the top. For me, this left hand is on the top, right hand. So we're just gonna switch it up. So we're just gonna kind of change up those arms. So it might feel a little unnatural. And then let's go to the right and the left a little here. I'll shift side to side. Releasing to the right. We'll take a moment to pause. Maybe imagine that there was a big beach ball here on the right side that you could lean over. See if you can get that lateral stretch in the spine. And bring yourselves back to center, lengthen, and release to the other side. And then breathing so deeply, expanding through the lungs and through the ribs. We'll bring ourselves back to center. Hands can relax down. Let's take 3 shoulder rolls here. Take your shoulders up to the ears, find a nice large circle, and then relax your shoulders on the exhale. Shoulders up, let it go. And release. Let's float those hands out into a T position. Right arm under, left arm over, to our opposite shoulders here. Maybe press the backs of your hands together. Maybe arms wrap up and hands wrap up. Hands can stay where they're at. Maybe take your hands to the sky. And then just seeing, you can lift those fingertips up a little bit more if that feels accessible in the shoulders. And unwrap the arms. We'll take arms out into a T position. Left arm under, right arm over. Reach for opposite shoulders. Press the backs of your hands together. Arms can wrap and hands can wrap. Maybe hands sweep up. Check in here. Really try to engage your core. So we'll feel that sensation of tucking the tailbone. Feel the navel move back and up to the spine slightly. And release. Let's unwrap those arms. Hands are going to come right onto your shoulders. Elbows float forward. Take them up, back, and down. Breathe in and out. One more time. And let it go. Let's take a nice deep full breath here. Hinging at the hips and folding down. We're going to come down into a forward fold. Just letting your stomach rest on the tops of the legs. Hands can relax down if you'd like. Another option would be to reach for opposite elbows underneath your legs, if that works for you. Try to relax your head here. So our head weighs so much, is so heavy. And we have all of these little muscles in our neck that hold our head up all day long. So when we take a stretch like this, we can really let our head relax. We can let our neck relax. Maybe gaze towards your navel to see if you can relax your head even more. And release. Let's bring it on out. We're going to bring our hands onto our legs. Core engages to reset the spine. Let's come it up to stand. We'll try a couple of standing poses today. And as we stand, we're going to use our chair for the first one. So we're going to work a little bit with our legs. We're going to work with our quads. Now, if you can come to the right side of your chair, that'll be great. You're going to step to the right side of your chair with your right foot. Grab on if you need to. And left hand for your left foot. We'll try for a quad stretch here. So if you can't reach for your foot, what you can do is have your knee bending and encourage your foot in, and then in time, you'll be able to reach back for it. Now, it's nice to have your knee on the seat so that you don't have to fuss with the balance too much. But if you feel that your balance is strong and you want to challenge the balance, feel free to step away from the chair as well. Now, this one is a wonderful quad stretch. We get into our hip flexor and our psoas. And when you're in this stretch, if you wanted to create a little bit more stretch, it's a tiny micro movement. You try to create a little sensation of kicking the foot into the hand. And then what that does will rotate your knee down towards the ground a little bit more. And that might just help to fire up some more muscles there in front of the hip. This is such a beneficial stretch because we sit a lot through our day, at work, driving, watching TV, eating. And when we sit, it really creates imbalance in the body. It creates a shorter front body and then a longer back body. The muscles become imbalanced. So a stretch like this is so wonderful because it really tries to bring a bit more balance in the lower body. It can also help with your low back as well. Let's change it up. We're going to come to the left side of the seat. Left foot plants, right knee onto the seat there. You can grab on for support. And then, of course, if you want to step away, you can do that as well. Now, if you wanted to intensify that stretch a little bit, create that tiniest sensation of kicking your foot into the hand a little bit, and then gently rotating your knee down towards the ground a little bit more. And if you're feeling a really good stretch, you're doing it right. I don't know that I've ever had anyone in class that has said that, a quad stretch wasn't challenging or didn't feel really, really intense. So I think we all have pretty tight quads. And we're going to release that one. We're going to take our feet out a little wider than our hips, and we'll go side to side here, a little shift to the right and the left. Empty coat sleeve stretch. Let's take our feet in line with our hips. Hands will reach up and overhead. Right hand for your left wrist, and then left foot to the right. We'll cross our legs here. Lengthen, hands to the right. Try to feel your left hip pressing off to the left. So that will just help you move a little deeper into that lateral stretch for your spine. And then we'll bring it back to neutral. Legs stay just how they are. Let's change up those hands. Release your hands off towards the left. See if you can draw your right hip to the right a little bit more to intensify the stretch. And reset. Release on arms, reset on your feet. And we'll try that on the other side. Hands up, breathe in. Left hand for right wrist and right foot to the left, crossing the legs. Lengthen, release to the left. And maybe you feel this little sensation like that left hand could pull your right hand to the left. So just bringing you a little bit deeper into that stretch. We'll come back to center, realign, change up the grip, lengthen, and release to the right. And release. Let's come back to center. We'll realign the feet here, reset on the hands. Let's take one shoulder roll, breathe in and out. So I'd love to work a little bit with a standing hip opener. And this one, if you need to grab onto the chair for a little support, you can do that. It can be a little tricky. So feel free to grab onto the chair, wall, anything that's accessible. So we'll start with left hand having support in the chair and right leg will come up and over. So as you do this, you want to avoid your knee. So try to get your foot up higher than your knee. And then figure four stretch here. It looks like the number 4. And then gently sink your hips back and down. So it's going to intensify the stretch. Now, if this one isn't working for you, feel free to grab onto your chair, sit in it, and you can do this one seated. So you have a couple options here. Everyone can figure out what feels best for them. And if that just isn't working for you, both of those options, because maybe the quads are very tight, you can skip this one, meet us in the next pose, we'll be there soon enough. So if this is feeling like you want to challenge the balance more, maybe release the hand from the chair. And to deepen your stretch, you can flex your right foot. This right knee, you could encourage it down away from your body a bit. And when you do that, when you press that knee away, might get more stretch here on the hips. This is a great hip stretch, leg stretch, good for your low back. This one's also good if you ever have sciatica. This can help to take pressure off the sciatic nerve. One of the best stretches for that. And we're going to come on out. We'll take right foot to left foot. Take your chair, send it to the other side if you need to, so you can even out your arms. Left leg comes up and over, hips back and down. Maybe sit into the chair. So you may notice, our sides of our body aren't even, and especially when we do work with our hips, one hip tends to be much more open, which would mean that when we're doing a stretch like this, it's very easy on one side, and then it's much more challenging on the other side. So maybe the first time you could do this one standing, second side, when you have to take a seat. Or vice versa, maybe sitting first side, can stand the second side. Flex your foot, encourage your knee down. And this is such a wonderful stretch. This one is our standing pigeon, but as I showed, we have our seated pigeon. If you take yoga on the yoga mat, we have our regular pigeon. There's a double pigeon. So in yoga, we have lots of hip openers. And those are great because there's always different options, variations, so that everyone can find a pose that works for them. And release, let's come on out. We're just gonna shake that one out. You can shake out your legs, shake out your feet. Good. We're gonna take our feet in line with our hips. Be mindful, have your toes pointing straight forward. Have this very nice foundation through your feet. Hands on your hips. Drop your hips back and down. So imagine that there was a chair behind you that you could sit into. Hands are gonna reach up. We'll come into chair pose. We also call this one Uttanasana. And in this one, try to draw your weight back into your heels. So your toes are a little light. And then almost just feeling like your toes could lift from the ground. Maybe gaze down. Make sure that you can see the tips of your toes. So we just don't want our knees to be moving too far forward here. And really activate your legs as well. So we don't want to push them in so that they're touching, but we want to imagine that there was a tennis ball between the knees so that you can activate more muscles. So imagine that there was a tennis ball that you could squeeze. And let's come on out. We're going to stand, hands behind your body for Yoga Mudra. So this one is fingers interlocking, palms touch, or you can square off your wrists. Maybe imagine that you could put a pencil in between the shoulder blades. Standing here with the spine straight, maybe come down to fold on exhale if you'd like. Forward fold. Call this one Uttanasana. And again, another stretch where we can try to relax our head and our neck. Maybe look towards your navel. Try to melt away tension that you're holding onto. And release. Hands can come onto your low back. Hands can relax down towards the ground. And then rolling up through the spine, we'll come on up one vertebrae at a time. As you come on up to stand, let's take our shoulders up, back, and down. Let's try another hip stretch. We're going to take a seated pose this time. You can come back to a comfortable seated position. And as you come into seated here, scoot to the edge of your seat. Right knee will come into the chest, so fingers will interlock. And begin to circle the knee here. So we'll find large circles or find smaller circles. And reverse, flow in the other direction. Take a moment to pause, pull your knee to your chest, pull it right into the stomach here on this one. So this one is nice because you can use your arm strength and your shoulder strength to really draw that leg in. But although you're using arm and shoulder strength, make sure that those shoulders aren't to the ears. Find some space there as well. We're gonna lighten up on that stretch. Avoid your stomach and rib cage, and let's pull that knee towards the underarm area. You're gonna really try to avoid the front body and just kind of scoot it off to the side a bit. So getting into our hip, but a little differently. And release. We're gonna come back to center, right foot plants, left knee rises. Find your circles, create a bit of movement here. And reverse, flow in the other direction. Bringing yourself to stillness here. Let's take our knee to our chest, pull it in. A little pressure in that hip joint maybe. And avoid the stomach, rib cage. Let's pull it towards the underarm. And release. Feet will come out nice and wide. Knees are bent. Grab onto the edges of your seat if you need to. Windshield wipe your knees to the right and to the left. So we're just going to do a nice little windshield wipe to the right and left. And release. Let's come back to center. Realigning here. Take a peek down. Have yourself at the edge of your seat. Have a 90-degree angle in your legs. Hands onto your shoulders. Let's bring our elbows forward. We'll take them up, back, and down. Breathe in and out. And one more time. Great. Let's relax the hands down. We'll take a moment to close the eyes. Gently draw your chin to your chest. Lengthen the back of your neck. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Let yourself come back to center. Left ear to left shoulder. Back to center. Take a moment to circle the head. Circle the neck. Maybe find large circles. Maybe find smaller circles here. And reverse. Bring that circling of your head to stillness, but then let that flow through your spine. So we'll begin to gently circle the torso around from side to side. And then as you're circling, feel your body reacting to the movements. As you shift your weight to the right, maybe feel your left sitting bone, feel your left leg lifting up, lifting off of the chair. Reverse, flow in the other direction. Bringing yourself back on through to stillness, realigning here. Take a moment to close your eyes. Bring mindfulness into the moment. Notice how you feel. Observe your mind and your body in the moment. Feel your mind relax. calm at ease. Feel your body aligned and balanced. Letting the eyes open when you're ready. Thank you so much for joining today. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I hope that you enjoyed practice today. Have a wonderful day. It's Friday. Friday's a great day. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.